Hello and welcome back to Press Reset, a Poogles Games podcast where we talk all about the latest in gaming news, our reviews and first impressions of games, and just what we've been playing. A casual conversation about what's happening and just, what's coming up. And we have a very, very special one this week as we lead into the week before the Switch 2 release. Well, I guess we're not leading into it. This is the week before the Switch 2 release. Next week, we will have our hands on the Switch 2. So we're going to be talking about all the games that we are looking forward to playing and how we are playing or planning on using the Switch 2 day one and week one. I'm, of course, your host, Poogles, or Happy. I think I've settled on Happy, forgot about that. And I, of course, am here with my co-host, my JRPG correspondent, the Yellow Arrow, Casey.
What
How you
up?
doing?
Good, how are you?
How's it going? Anything new? I see you got a new setup.
I do. It took me forever, but I'm happy I finally got it down. I've got I got records on my favorite video games of all time right there, Undertale and Persona 3.
Oh yeah, wait, what's the other ones?
Oh, the red and yellow are Undertale, and then the black and blue are Persona 3.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you,
Is
thank
that
you.
is that your
Hmm.
PC behind you?
That is a fridge.
That's what. Okay, I thought so. I was like, is that a mini fridge behind you? But then I was like, I couldn't tell if I was seeing like a GPU in there or like a Diet Coke. I think I have that same Spider-Man figure right behind you.
Do you? Wait, do you actually?
Hold on, let me be. Hold on.
Oh.
All right, I'm back. And yes, in fact,
Oh my
I do have
god.
the same one,
You
except mine is very dusty. I had to.
What is yours have? Yours has a web coming out of it. Mine doesn't.
Yeah, yours probably fell off.
I was about to say.
Well, anyways, if you couldn't tell, I'm a little sick, so I'm gonna definitely need your help for this one to take over a lot of this stuff
Oh.
because I woke up
Mhm.
and I had I don't know if I'm getting sick or if it's my allergies that have been kicking my ass today, but like I got a stuffy nose, sore throat, so I'm
Oh god.
gonna try to power through this. But like I said at the
Mhm.
beginning, this is a very special week because we are only a week away from finally having the next generation of Nintendo in our hands. And there's a lot
Mhm.
to talk about. Um, nothing new to really talk about, but I think for this episode, what I wanted to do was go ahead and get a temp check for how we're feeling on next week and what we plan on doing with our first day with a new system, a new generation. And I think there's a lot of exciting things to look forward to. Um, and we'll get to the obvious ones. But then there's also a lot of smaller. I don't even know what to call it. Quirks about about the system itself that are definitely going to be look forward to.
Mhm.
In terms of just themes. I know we're not getting themes, but just little stuff like that, like what is really separates this generation from the last one. And I know it's gonna be
Right.
mainly power that's gonna be the real test, but it's always fun to just open up the box and see what's new, and it's always rewarding to peel off that film off the screen and just jump right into whatever game you've been looking forward to most. And I think in this case we can all agree it's Mario Kart, but
Eh.
well, yeah, maybe not for you after last week's conversation. Yeah. If you listened to last week's episode, you might have heard that Casey hates Mario Kart.
I was gonna say hate is a strong word, but there's never really been a Mario Kart I liked, so I guess hate would be the way to go. I mean, I am excited about Mario Kart World though. It does look fun. Um, I like it. I like how it looks better than 8, in my opinion. But it's one
Yeah,
of those
okay.
things that I won't know till I actually.
Well, let's just jump into it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first game on the list that we can go ahead and just knock out real quick or talk about at length is Mario Kart. I
Mm-hmm.
think this is clearly the flagship game. This is the game that if you are Not necessarily looking forward to just a more powerful Switch, but you want the next big thing that Nintendo is doing in terms of software. This is it right here. And
Mhm.
I think this is a killer of a game to sell software like this. If we look at the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sales, I mean that game is still selling like crazy. Like it's still,
Mhm.
I don't know exactly. I can go ahead and look it up real quick, but man, that game just does not seem to die. It's kind of got the same thing that GTA it's got going on. It just refuses to let up in sales.
Right.
It still sneaks in its way into like the top selling games every month, every now and then.
Mm. Which is kinda crazy because it also never goes on sale.
Never. But
It's always, like, full price nearly.
it's also the only one on unless if you don't count the Switch Online, the
Mhm.
backwards compatible uh SNES and 64, and I think they got Game Boy on there, right? So
I
circuits
think
on
that yeah,
there.
they do now, I think.
And
Mhm.
yeah, if you don't consider those, it's the only Mario Kart. And better yet, if we're not even going to consider the Wii U, it's the only Mario Kart to have released in the last 12 years. I think it came out in
Yeah, oh my god.
2013.
Mhm.
Just straight up from just Google, it says 68.2 million units sold.
Oh,
But then it also says
god.
8.46 on the Wii U. So in total, 75 million Mario Kart 8s.
Whoa.
So I think it's safe to say that this is a sure bet for Nintendo to
Mhm.
capitalize on giving people a reason to why to actually invest in new hardware, especially when it's as iterative as the last system, which is really the first time Nintendo has ever done that aside from the Super NES from the NES. They're clearly sticking to their new roots, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. They're not doing anything different. It is just they're digging their heels and double downing on what made the Switch as successful as it is. And I think that is more complicated ever now because
Mhm.
it's hard for new generations to really justify themselves aside from a power aspect. I mean, if you look at so many, I think up until like maybe last year, there was still games that were being made for the PS4 and
Yeah.
Xbox Series X or whatever it was called. It's
Mhm.
terrible name,
I didn't even realize, like, God of War Ragnarok came out on PS4.
right? So like the the large population of PlayStation players are still on PlayStation. So you gotta imagine that a lot of the people that already own a Switch who are probably playing games that don't require a lot of power, a lot
Yeah.
of I think one thing that the this generation did really well, or I guess you could say almost now the past generation, is that they kind of came like the best place for indies.
Mhm.
And that on top of that, it came with a lot of a larger demographic that when looking at indies, specifically cozy games, it was a great place to play those games. It would be on the
Mhm.
Switch, on the go, as a handheld. And I think the Switch really cultivated that culture of being able to prop up these indies on a higher level because sure, PC gaming has grown a lot in the last several years. We're talking about a console that came out in 2017,
Mhm.
and they had kind of a jump start. I mean, if we remember, just like, and we'll get to it, Hades is it came out on Switch first. I mean, people want
Mhm.
their games to be out on the Switch. It's portable, it's cheaper than a Steam Deck. And hell, we look at the Steam Deck like it's such a success. It's great. You can do so much with the Steam Deck. I got mine right there. But I think the Steam Deck has like less than 5 million sales. And so the Steam Deck it's very much a I don't know how to say it. It's definitely for the extremist. And
Yeah.
the Switch 2, it has the branding, it has the smaller form factor in comparison to the Steam Deck and even the Wii U, and it's got everything else going with it. Like during COVID with Animal Crossing, that was huge. The pack-in
Mhm.
sales of a Switch and a Mario Kart. I mean, there was nothing bigger than that. I mean, God bless Nintendo. They could not have expected COVID to happen, or at least
Yeah.
expected that it would have happened in the way that it did, the dramatic way that it did, and everyone's going to be shut down, and that they timed it almost in the same month when the universal lockdown happened. So I mean, that was
Mhm.
talk about timing. But aside from those great timing moments, I think they did cultivate a better relationship with what we view Nintendo as, and then also that relationship with developers where they now understand like, oh, if we're making an indie game, we want to get it out on the
Right.
Switch. Because for me, I can't even imagine playing an indie game on my PlayStation. I can't, I just wouldn't, unless it was like a
Mhm.
like really twitchy platforming game. Maybe I would like boot
Mhm.
that up on my PlayStation, but I would probably just do that on my PC.
Mhm.
But being able to just lay down and kick up my feet and play it on my Switch, that's what I did every time. That's how I played Hades. That's how I played Stardew Valley. It's the best place possible.
Mhm.
But besides that, Mario Kart. That was the other tie-in game. Well, not tie-in game, but a game that tied in so well into the ecosystem of the Switch that allowed taking a co-op game on the go. It really showed off its capabilities of being able to play, just take off those Joy Cons. I remember it like in high school. You were probably in like elementary school at the time, but I remember
Yeah.
I got my Switch day one. I skipped first and second period to go pick up my Switch at Target. Didn't pre-order it or anything. I
Ooh.
just walked in line. There was like 30 of them, and I was comfortably in line. Showed up like 30 minutes prior and was able to get one. And I would take it to school, and I would play Mario Kart during a lot of my classes because I did not pay attention. Yeah, so
I was gonna oh, yeah, I didn't even get the Switch till, like, middle school I was in, because I wasn't a big Nintendo guy until I saw, like, YouTubers probably playing the best Mario game, and then that's when I decided I wanna get the Switch, and I proceeded to play the best Mario game,
which is
Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Yep.
I didn't know where you're going with that. I thought you were gonna say something like
Like Mario Rabbids.
that or Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
No, those games were fire, though.
Those were pretty fun. I
Those were
remember,
good.
I think it was Vancouver, the Winter Olympics one.
Mm,
That one was
mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Mario Kart. What is there to say that everyone else hasn't already talked about? This game is. I've actually kind of gone blackout on this on anything Mario Kart because I
Wait,
just want to
really?
go. Yeah, I just want to jump into. I don't want to see anymore. I want to hop in, discover things myself. I don't want any more. It's kind of what I do with like movies I'm really interested in. I kind of just
Mhm.
if I'm scrolling past something on Twitter and I see it, I'm like, nope, I don't need to
Mhm.
know about it. It's gonna be here in a couple weeks. I'm gonna have my hands on it, and I want to be as surprised as possible.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I was so shocked to hear that they were going to do this open world aspect.
I know that is so it's so different for them to try to do that. I mean, it's very welcome, but I'm still, like, really hesitant on it. Especially
Yeah,
since I already don't, like, have the biggest love for Mario Kart.
I think this, of course, opens up a lot of creativity, and I think
Mhm.
there's gonna be a lot of non racing, kart racing aspects of the game that is going to make it rewarding because you are pulling off maneuvers that feel less like a generic kart racing game and just more of like a almost the same feeling that you would get like from a platformer, especially like the newer
Mm.
platformers nowadays that invite like creativity. Like in Odyssey, there's you see those videos all the time, those clips on
Mhm.
TikTok and YouTube, or like especially speedrunners of them like pulling off impossible like hat
Yeah.
tricks, jumping off this platform to
Mhm.
like one platform to another, but just throwing their hat constantly and diving on it and then jumping and keep doing it. Like,
Mhm.
how are they doing this? I feel like this game almost warns that same kind of feeling where like you're going to see in like 2 3 months from now of just people pulling off the most insane stupid shit that you can possibly ever imagine.
Mhm.
You wouldn't even think about doing that or think that it was even possible. And I think that from a more of an amateur sense is still going to be rewarding because I think there's still going to be lots of layers for even us plebs to just kind of discover on our own.
Mhm.
Yeah, look how great this looks.
I was gonna say the game looks really nice, but there is one controversy with this new Mario Kart:
Um, oh yeah.
the price tag.
Oh, of course. See, the thing about this, I will say about the price tag, it is so fascinating that this game is technically only $50 if you get the bundle.
Mhm.
So I don't want to say that I don't really have to worry about that because I did get the bundle, but it's so hard to try to justify this price tag because I think a lot of people are going to be excited for new hardware and they're going to be like, what can I play? And
Mhm.
the most obvious thing is going to be Mario Kart. And whether or not Mario Kart is their thing, much like yourself, I think I'm talking exactly about you. I know that you're excited for new Nintendo hardware, but you're not
Yeah,
even a big Mario Kart fan,
exactly,
but you
exactly.
want to use that new hardware and play whatever is available, especially day one. So for a game like this, where a lot of people would say, a lot of people can say that, you're playing the same thing over and over. It's just a bunch of tracks, and I think this game is definitely different. It's
Mhm.
certainly stays away from that conversation more than other iterations, but at the end of the day, it's kind of just driving around and how much can get of that value back. That value that is $80. How
Mhm.
how how valuable is this game for a game that is $80 for you to just be driving around constantly and sending shells at people, dropping bananas and whatnot?
You're right.
How much are you gonna really get out of this? And if does that warrant the $80 price tag? That's that's really just comes down to preference. I think the whole $80 thing is bullshit either way. I hate
Mhm.
it,
Right.
but
Same.
it's. I think until we have it in our hands, so we can have the discussion of, okay, does this game does this game have enough juice to warrant this new $80 price tag? And even then,
Mhm.
are we even going to know what that means? Because again, this is one of the first games that's going to be $80. So,
That is
what
true.
does that mean anymore?
Mhm.
Through that lens, then I think, yeah, Mario Kart World has an uphill battle, but only time will tell.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. What do we want to talk about next? I'm going to
Do
just,
you
I want to talk about the enhancements
Okay, yeah, yeah.
because I feel like for me, that's what I am looking forward to most besides Mario Kart. Um, I did not beat Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm.
And once the rumors of the Switch 2 being the Switch 2, not just some new Nintendo hardware, but that it was going to be an iteration of the previous generation, we all assumed it was going to be backwards compatible. And assuming that they would probably done some boosting system for their latest games, that their beefier games that have some troubles running,
Right.
specifically Zelda games
A
and the
lot
Pokemon
of trouble
games,
running.
but we don't really
Mm,
know much about that just yet. We would assume. I think they showed off just yesterday that Pokemon Za would be running in 4K, except it still looks like shit. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for these new enhancements. I'm excited to jump into the Tears of the Kingdom without it having to run like 30 frames a second all the time.
oh my god, yeah.
Did you beat Tears of the Kingdom?
I didn't beat Tears of the Kingdom, but I I didn't enjoy Tears of the Kingdom as much as I enjoyed Breath of the Wild. I really liked Breath of the Wild, but I really couldn't get into Tears of the Kingdom.
Really?
Yeah, what would you say? Did you enjoy one over the other?
Um, I was having a lot of fun with Tears of the Kingdom, but I think I got
Mhm.
more overwhelmed with Tears of the Kingdom.
Mm,
They were just two different experiences for myself. See, with my experience with Breath of the Wild is that I actually didn't beat it for a couple of years
mm,
because I was kind of annoyed with not only the weapons breaking, that really bothered me a lot.
mhm.
I hated managing my weapons. I want the Master Sword. I want to be able to just
Right,
go
yeah.
around and use the Master Sword and not worry about anything. I want to feel like the hero, and I don't want to have to worry that I can only swipe my Master Sword so often. And then I also am just a classic dungeon guy. I like the dungeons and
Mhm.
the what were they called? The champions?
Are you yeah, the, champion oh my god, what was it?
The
I know
divine
exactly what you're
beast or
talking about.
whatever.
The Divine Beast, that's what it was, I
Yeah,
think.
I mean, those were nothing like dungeons. It didn't capture the spirit of
Yeah.
and I know it's like it's such a video game for here's the fire dungeon, here's the water dungeon, here's the grass dungeon, but I liked that aspect. I liked the old days when you would find a new tool in a dungeon and then you would use that tool elsewhere, you know,
Mhm.
and you don't really get that in this game. But with this or either of these games, because I don't think the dungeons really make a comeback in Tears of the Kingdom, but I really had a lot of fun in Tears of the Kingdom with building shit,
Yeah.
building a little jet and flying around. That was a lot of fun. And I really appreciate that about those games,
Mhm.
about that game. Look at these guys. You think that do you
Was that a banana?
where do you just get that banana from?
Why did he just put put it behind him?
Yeah, he just grabbed a banana. For anyone watching, we're watching the treehouse that they did the day after the direct, and we're watching the comparisons between the Switch 1 and Switch 2 Tears of the Kingdom performance. And some guy just pulled a banana out from underneath a table.
Mhm.
Yeah, see, look,
I
I
don't
don't know if there's much of a telltale in this version, but it looks like it's running pretty well.
I was gonna my biggest gripe with Tears of the Kingdom was the performance because I don't know if it's my specific Switch, maybe it was because it's really old, but it just constant frame drops. I could not stand it. It was actually annoying me. It just happened constantly. Like even when I like just walked into new areas, it would just break on me.
Yeah, I think there was just a lot of the scale of the game is obviously the biggest selling point, and I think that there was a
Mhm.
lot of disappointment in experiencing that That guy just landed headfirst on a dive.
He did. He actually did.
Can you do that?
I don't. I don't know. I didn't do
Yeah,
that.
I think a big draw of the game. The biggest draw of the game was the scale. Obviously, they're adding a lot
Right.
of different levels, and I think that scale was almost always ruined by these big jumps off of the sky islands or into the abyss, and you just are immediately hit with the fact that, oh yeah, this is a video game and it's in real time. You're seeing this game try to catch up with what is all trying
Mhm.
to happen all at once. And I mean, it was fine. We understood the system. It ran fine in moments when it needed to, but I, I I just wanted I wanted to be perfect. I wanted it to be perfect.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I am planning on once I sink a healthy 100 hours into Mario Kart, I'm gonna definitely jump back into the Tears of the Kingdom and
Yeah.
try it again because oh yeah, there's also this companion system where apparently the actress for Zelda recorded a few more lines, and they got this like Google Map system where they'll
Wait,
tell you where to
really?
go. Yeah, you didn't hear about this? Yeah,
No, I
it's
didn't hear about
on your
no.
phone. There's like a Google Maps that tracks you in real time, so you can see the your little player icon moving in real time. You'll see that
Oh,
on your
that's actually
phone,
cool.
and then there's actually a voice that will tell you, which direction to go.
Is that gonna be a part of like the My Nintendo app they got going on?
I believe so. I think it might be its own app, like some Zelda
Oh.
app. Zelda Notes, that's what it's called.
Mm.
And there's achievements and yeah, just new voice lines from Zelda, which
Oh, I did
I
not know
mean,
there were achievements now. That's a game changer right there.
yeah, but let's be real. The Zelda voice actor, the American one, she did not do it. Sorry. Oh, that's loud. Yeah, I look forward to this. I do want to beat it, but now I have the decision to make of do I want to start over
Mm.
or do I just jump right back in?
How do you know how far you got?
I feel like I sunk in a healthy 30, 40 hours into it.
Mm. I don't there's a lot of changes, but I'm not sure if it warrants a complete new playthrough, especially if you didn't finish the already.
I just feel like I'm going to jump back into it and not going to know anything.
Uh,
Not going to know how to
mhm.
build anything. I'm not going to know what I'm capable of. Oh, also with this app, you can like upload your creations and then you can download creations from people off the interweb and then just kind of
Oh, that's actually
just
really cool.
spawn it into your game if you have the resources.
Oh,
You looking forward to any of these? Are you going to jump into Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom?
I I sunk into probably an unhealthy amount of hours in Breath of the Wild already, but I'm actually probably when does it also drop on release of Switch 2?
I believe it's day one.
If it's day one, then I'm going to start a new playthrough then. Because I don't know how far I got into Tears of the Kingdom, but I also feel as if I forgot everything really. So I'm probably also just going to start a new playthrough. Maybe I'll find it more fun second time around, especially when there's less like breakage in my frames. But
Yeah.
mhm.
All right. Now let's talk about the game I know that you are looking forward to most. All right, Casey,
Oh, here we go.
you ready for that?
Mhm.
I'm of course talking about. First of all, I gotta remember what it's called. Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour, the
Oh my
game
god,
that
I
should have
did.
been a pack-in that isn't.
Mhm.
What do you think about this one?
It's definitely a game that not only should be packaged, but also probably should be free. Because tell me if I'm wrong, but you have to pay for this, don't you?
I believe it's $10.
That is crazy. That is,
You're telling me
especially for
that
a game
this?
that just
Hey, we were talking about whether or not $80 if Mario Kart has the value to justify its $80 price tag, I think this one has a better shot of justifying its $10 price tag than Mario Kart does with $80.
I mean, don't get me wrong. This game is a cool little addition, but no, actually, no. Since we have this podcast, we are gonna have to spend $10 and play this.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
You better day one not even touch Mario Kart. You better look deep into the world of
I'm
Welcome
not
Tour.
I'm not playing Mario Kart until I beat this.
This we gotta replay this. We gotta. I mean, it's definitely gonna have a lot of cool features, but I am not positive if I would even spend $5 on this.
What do you mean? You got some new hardware. I was just talking about it earlier with you. You got new hardware. You're just looking for the newest thing, and especially, I mean, this is like the only thing that really shows off the newest thing about the Switch, and I think
I
that's the
guess
mouse
that's
control.
true. Mhm. Oh, I forgot about the mouse control.
Yeah, this is looking like it's being shown off prominently in this game. So if
Mhm.
you want to go ahead and really try out that mouse controls, think that's gonna be the one for you, because unfortunately, and I wish we could talk about it, but unfortunately, the wheelchair game is not a day one game.
No,
Yep, it's not.
I thought it was. When's it drop?
I think it's a month later.
It's competing with Donkey Kong.
It is. I know it's got a lot of competition.
Man, I did.
So real talk,
I
are you gonna play that game?
Oh yeah, definitely.
The
I
wheelchair
could
game,
have.
or I'm talking about the welcome tour.
Oh, I was talking about the wheelchair game. The Welcome Tour. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get it because we gotta talk about it, and I feel like at least one of us would have to get it. Are you getting it?
The welcome tour?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm actually kind of excited for it. I'm
Are
like,
you actually?
yeah. I'm like, I kind of want to walk around the Switch. I want to see what this is all about. Because I gotta spread my time somewhere, and
Mhm.
it's not gonna be a lot of games. But
That is true. There's.
if there's a game that I can, maybe put an hour or two in and get out, then I think that should be
Mhm.
the game that I'm
Well,
looking forward to most.
actually, I'll say this for later. I was just gonna say how there is a day one drop that has potential to be probably one of the greatest video games of all time.
You want to go ahead and just jump right into it?
Yeah, sure. We also get the next 2 chapters of Delta Ruin.
Look at that.
Fuck, bro, this game,
I knew
dude,
you were going there.
this it has potential to be the greatest game of all time. I am saying it now.
So you have played chapters 1 and 2, right?
Yes, and I've also played Undertale,
So
and
why, looking from the outside, why should I be fascinated by this? What does this do that makes it stand out, especially for a day one Switch game?
Mhm. Well, first of all, not only is the game a load of fun, but the first 2 chapters are free.
Okay.
And they are fairly the first one is probably gonna take you like maybe like an hour, but chapter 2 is pretty long, but oh my god, the characters, the story, everything about it is just whimsical and wonderful. The music is a big highlight. And after I don't know, did you ever play Undertale?
I did not. I mean, I've played it, but I'd never beat it.
Mm. Undertale, if you didn't know, this is my favorite video game of all time. And there are loads of connections between Undertale and Deltarune.
Yeah. Are they
And
set like in the same world? Is there, or is it kind of just
uh, so the creator said they have nothing to do with each other, but Deltarune has characters from Undertale, and then if you switch around the lettering in Deltarune, it just spells Undertale,
yeah?
and then the music has a bunch of the music has music from Undertale in it. So they're connected 100%. So I'm just extremely excited to see where it goes, and
Are you gonna get a
God,
Undertale tattoo?
yeah, I actually have one planned.
Really? Or are you gonna get like
Yeah,
Sans?
no, there's a there's a famous quote from Undertale, and it always meant a lot to me. So I'm gonna get it on my arm. Um, at the end of the game, the main character looks into the mirror and says, "Despite everything, it's still you."
I've heard that.
Yeah, and it's just such a good quote that I love. And this game, Undertale's always meant a lot to me ever since I was in elementary school, and I think it really helped me form my video game opinions because before that I have only played Call of Duty.
How old
And
is
then Undertale,
Deltarune?
well, Undertale came out when I was in elementary school.
And then when did
Deltarune, I
yeah.
was like I was like a sophomore when chapter 1 came out, I think. So that was like,
So he's taking his sweet ass time.
oh yeah, but it's worth it. It's going to be very worth it. I have never been so excited for something.
That's awesome. Do you know how long it's gonna be? Have you heard anything about that?
Like how long the chapters are.
Yeah, like 3 and 4.
Chapter 2 took 3 years to make, and it was like maybe 2 hours long, and then these next 2 chapters it's been about like 5 years maybe. So I
All right.
assume they're pretty long. And then after that we got one more chapter, so probably another 5 years.
All right. So you need for the I guess of day one. So next Thursday, when we
Mhm.
record, the day it comes out, I expect you to have beaten both of them the
I
same
will
day.
same day. I can't say I would be getting to the next chapter, but not next chapter. I'm probably going to be in chapter 3 when we talk because I'm going to take my sweet time with it.
That's good.
Mhm.
Well, there's another game that I expect you to have your undivided attention.
Which game? Oh yeah, I've already been playing this.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. I
For
because
audio
this game came
listeners,
out.
we're looking at what is it? Sonic Shadow Generations.
Yeah, Sonic X Shadow Generations.
What is up with this game?
So this game has already come out on PlayStation, I think Xbox, PC. Sonic Generations, if you didn't know, is like one of my favorite Sonic games of all time. The original Sonic Generations, which came out on like PS3,
Yeah.
and they added X Shadow Generations. And I got it on my console and I played the original Sonic Generations part, which is just like a remaster of the game. And I was like, oh yeah, this is just as fun as I remember. And then I played the Shadow part, which is the brand new part they added, and holy shit, they got it. These were the most fun creative levels I have ever played in a Sonic game. And I really hope the team actually makes, like a full length game like it. Because it is just so much fun, and you're going back in like levels from the worst Sonic game, Sonic 06, and you're having a blast with them.
Yeah.
Did you play the original Sonic Generations?
I did not. I've maybe played 2 or 3 Sonic games before. I had I had a collection on the GameCube. I can't remember what it was called, but it had a bunch of different Sonic games. I think it had
Hmm.
Sonic 2. I think maybe 3 Knuckles, and then there was like a pinball. There was a pinball Sonic that was pretty
Okay,
fun.
yeah.
I like that one. And then you know what? I played a lot of I had the Sonic. It was the one with the hoverboards. I think it was just racers, Sonic Racers or Riders. I think it was Sonic
Yeah.
Riders.
Yeah.
And then on my PS Vita, I played a shit ton of Transform. It was the racing one, but you transformed into
Oh, was that Racers?
yeah,
Yeah. We also got a new Sonic Racers coming out.
yeah, Between Worlds or something.
Yeah.
But that one on the PS Vita had Wreck It Ralph as a playable character, and I thought that was pretty cool. He's my favorite character. So you think you'll pick that up for the Switch? Take it on the
I
go?
might. Yeah, I might. Because honestly, it would be nice just playing it in my bed, especially with how fun the levels are. And yeah. Oh yeah, I would say so. And I just want to throw this out here too. Sonic has always been better than Mario.
I don't. Where do you want me to start? You want me to start with the
W-
sales?
Oh, we don't have to talk about sales. This is
Who just
that's
opened up a
irrelevant.
store in San Francisco?
Listen, if
Who still makes
okay,
consoles?
you haven't played enough Sonic games to understand why it's so great.
You've played one. You've played them all.
That is just not true. That is just not true at all. You got to play.
In every
Play
game,
Sonic.
does he
Play
not say
Sonic
"Gotta
X
go
Shadow
fast"?
Generation.
It's "Gotta go fast." Gotta go fast.
He doesn't talk for a while.
When what? At what game does he just go slow? You know, that's the question that we need to be asking. When is he just gonna slow down, man?
He doesn't need to slow down.
He's just well, he's going too fast, man. I can't keep up with it. You know,
Listen, you
he's
better
going
play.
so fast that these games come out and they're like, "Oh, new Sonic game came out." I was like, "Okay, great." New Mario
Listen,
game
I
comes
know.
out and everyone's like, "Okay, I'll spend $80 for it."
Oh, listen, I know Sonic's reputation as of lately hasn't been the brightest,
Look, Sonic is a
but
real cool dude, but
yeah.
he gets a bad rep.
Listen, I'm gonna buy you Sonic X Shadow Generations
Okay,
because
I'll play it.
yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you have to play the Sonic part first, then you can do Shadow.
Mm, I don't think so.
Honestly, it's interchangeable. I just said that because the Shadow part is more fun in this game, I think.
Well, doesn't this game have Keanu Reeves voicing him?
In one level, they added a level from the movie, and then in that level, Shadow is voiced by Keanu Reeves.
That's awesome. You know what? I will play it just for that. That's
It is
awesome.
pretty awesome.
So there's a lot of games. I think in total there's about 23 or 24 games that are like Switch 2 games. They're not they've been out before, but they are games that are like coming out for
Mhm.
the Switch 2, being designed around the Switch 2, not just simply just being a port. I think there's a couple fun ones to highlight. Well, I think the biggest one to highlight is Cyberpunk.
Mhm.
Oh, what? We're getting Cyberpunk for the Switch 2. I still cannot properly run Cyberpunk on my PC, and I have a 4070. And
Mhm.
it blows my mind that this little handheld is probably going to be able to. You know what? I'm not confident. I'm not. I'm not confident it's going to run well, and that it's going to warrant. It's going to solidify everyone's opinion for third party games, big third party games like this on the
Mhm.
Switch 2. I don't think it's going to be like, oh yeah, this is what the Switch is all about. I think it's still going to be really really rough around the edges, and I don't think it's really gonna turn the tides in how we view Nintendo's hardware. But I will I will be pleasantly surprised and open armed if this game truly meets the expectations, at least the minimum expectations. Because look at that girl doesn't even have eyebrows.
I don't know how they're getting this to run because you're right. Yeah, if your PC can't even run this, my PC can't really run this too well. My PS5 can't run it. I do not know how it's gonna run on the Switch 2,
Yeah,
but
well,
I'm pretty excited to see.
we know that the Switch has a NVIDIA chipset, so I imagine they are
Mhm.
doing some DLSS behind the scenes,
Mm,
so that's gonna help a lot. But look at this motion blur. Holy shit.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
God,
this
I
is
really gotta play Cyberpunk.
you not like beaten it?
I played a little bit on my PC, and then it wasn't really running too well. And then I had it on my PS5 because I saw it on sale, and then I kept crashing at the beginning.
Yeah. Did you get it on the first day?
On PC.
on either. Or was it? Did it come
PC
out
I
on
did.
both?
PC I did. On PS5 I got it way later. I got like the Steelbook because it was on like sale.
Ah, yes. Man, I love Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is one of my favorite games in the last 5 years. It
I was
is,
gonna say because you really like Blade Runner, don't you?
yeah. I mean, this game does everything for me. And at first, admittedly, I was like, "Oh, damn it, it's gonna be first person." But honestly, I still would really preferred it to be third person. But the first person gameplay feels so good, and every update they've kind of just innovated the game into being even more inviting to just playing however you really want to play. It became a better RPG as more updates came around. So it definitely made it
Mhm.
more fun to experiment with the game and try different things, especially with the skill tree after they refined it. You really started to feel like, oh, you want to go around with a katana only. And yeah, this game is just fantastic. Are you going to jump back into it? I imagine you're not going to pick it up on Switch, but do you think you'll ever see
No.
yourself going back to playing this?
I keep going back and forth because on one hand I really want to get back into it, but on the other hand I'm like I went like I got a couple hours on I don't know. You know what? I will. I'll actually go back on it this week before the Switch 2 comes out. Maybe I'll beat it.
Yeah. You think so? Really? But you
I
said
don't know about beating
before the Switch 2 comes out?
it. Yeah, you know what? I'll go for it. I'll go hard on it. Nope, don't. I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, good luck. All right. There's a couple more games that we can play. But first, Casey,
Mhm.
I want to talk about our mid break and a game that I have. And it's not the ladder this week. It's
Oh,
not
what
the
is it
ladder.
this time?
I feel like we could just do something a little bit simpler. And I'm going to. Are you familiar with wavelength?
That sounds familiar. Can you explain it to me?
So I'm going to be thinking of a number 1 through 10, and you will ask me questions, video game related questions. It could be anything. And based on my answer, it'll give you a gauge of what number I'm thinking of. So I will give you an answer based on my number on a scale of
Mhm.
like 1 to 10, 10 being the best. And then you'll determine based on my answer what number I'm around.
Okay. Oh yeah.
You'll get
Yeah.
3 questions, and then you'll guess your 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 final answer.
Okay.
Can you think of anything? Oh,
Yeah, you got a number in your head?
yep.
All right. I'll start off with Cyberpunk since we just talked about it.
All right. Are you asked? No, no. So you need to ask me a question on where I can rank something.
Like, where'd you Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I got you now. Okay, yeah. Sorry, my bad. I forgot how this game was played. All right. So, okay, action game.
And just a straight up action game.
Yeah, any action game. Ripley.
Um. Hmm. Huh. Action game. Action game. Just any action game.
Hmm.
Now, are you asking me like a review scale? Like this game is a blank out of blank?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Sunset Overdrive.
Oh wait, that's so varying. All right. Okay, so I got two more questions.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Uh, Nintendo Switch exclusive.
Nintendo Switch exclusive. So a Nintendo game on the
Yeah.
Switch.
You know what?
Ooh.
Any game that only released on Nintendo.
Um, Nintendo Switch exclusive. I'm gonna say Super Mario 3D Land.
Okay, we're going for. I'm on like right now in my head. I'm thinking you're on like a very very mid number, so like 5, 6, or 7. I'm going between. Um, for my last question, I will. You know what? I'll say PlayStation exclusive now.
PlayStation exclusive. Oh, I gotta think of these. Gotta go through my list of PlayStation exclusives because I first have to think of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what came out? What came out? Um, because you're asking me. See, this is hard for PlayStation Nintendo because I'm thinking of one way, and I think you might be thinking of another way.
Mm-hmm.
But and I can go with the other way, but it'd be different from the way I went with the Nintendo route, so that could really throw it off. Um, PlayStation. Let me bring up a list of PlayStation. This is a gaming podcast, in case you were wondering. Oh wow, that was a lot. You know what? I'm just gonna say Detroit Become Human.
Okay, I think I got a number.
All right.
I am going to go with 7.
It was 7.
Let's
Congratulations.
go. Let's
Yeah,
go. That Sunset Overdrive threw me off.
yeah, because I feel like Sunset Overdrive is like a good action game, but I don't think it's like
Mm-hmm.
particularly a standout in anything besides like the movement, which is why I think they were like a great pick for Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's finish up this list. There's a lot of games that I think are worth visiting, but games that have already come out before.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so a couple games. Split Fiction's coming out day one.
Mm.
I think that's really exciting, especially, I mean, you literally split the controllers off the system. I mean, what a better game to jump into than Split Fiction. Just take it anywhere you want, play on the same screen, hand a Joy-Con to a partner. Seems like a great hit. We've already played it on PlayStation, so I would almost actually consider picking it up again and then just like going to just like if I'm going out, if I'm going to a friend's house, just being like, here, try this game because at every point in the game there's like something new to play and try out. So it seems like a really
Mm-hmm.
really fun game to really just jump in with people that even starting like halfway into the game, giving it to people and just being like, here, this is what you have to do this part. Don't worry about it because 20 minutes from now you're gonna be doing the same thing. So that should be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter 6. You gonna get into Street Fighter 6
Yeah,
on the
I
Switch?
played a lot of I played a lot of Street Fighter 6 on PlayStation, and I would say it's a probably out of all the modern fighting games that came out, other than I guess Tekken 8, it's probably one of the best ones. And
Yeah.
so honestly, maybe I'll pick it up on the Switch because I get all the fighters
Yeah.
for
And you take it wherever you
without
want.
having to pay. Yeah, and I can take it wherever I want, and it's always nice to go to like a friend's house and be like, "You want to run a few rounds?" And then they do.
Hell yeah.
So I think it should be fun. Yeah. Um, though I'm probably gonna suck at it though because I use a fight stick.
Ah,
So
yeah.
it's gonna be like a new way of playing it with the Joy-Con. Unless they allow me to use mouse controls.
Another one coming out that looks, yeah, I mean, if you could use the mouse controls, just like kind of like punch out just with
Mm-hmm.
with the controllers, that could be a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Um, Hitman World of Assassination. So these games are incredible if you have never played them. World of Assassination specifically has all three games kind of rolled into one, so you get like
Oh.
20 maps. And if you know anything about these games, these maps are the bread and butter of the games because they all are set up specifically. So it's not procedurally generated, which is like really for refreshing for a game like this, where there's definitely an intentional design. But while it is intentional, there's still a lot of options within the world, and they've only innovated off this in the first game, second game, now the third game, which has now been bundled with everything else that came before. So in one package, you're getting all the Hitman games, which is just like probably 15 plus maps to just go around and just. I mean, there's unlimited content into that game now, and to bring
Mm.
it on the go, it's great controller game, so you don't really have to worry about like, oh, does this really carry over like a fighter game with Street Fighter or Cyberpunk, a first person shooter? I mean, a
Mhm.
Hitman game on the Switch 2 seems like a perfect game.
Right, did you play the Hitman games?
Hell yeah, they are awesome.
Wow, I suck at them.
Really? I mean,
Yeah,
once you once you kind of set your track, it kind of just tells you where to go and what to do. But you
that's
can always
I've
like
only pl
change it.
I've only played 1 Hitman level ever.
Yeah,
It's
then maybe this will be for you to jump into.
maybe it was do you know the level that's on the racetrack?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Miami, I
only that
think,
level. Yeah,
or
I think so.
Sapienza. Yeah, that track is awesome, and I think that was in the second game, so it's definitely in this one.
Mhm.
So you should definitely look into that, give it a try.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Puya Puya Tetris. Do you know anything about Puya Puya Tetris?
I always see this game everywhere whenever I go to stores. I do not know anything about it.
Puya Puya Tetris. I mean, if you like Tetris, if you like Puya Puya, these games are just so much fun. It's like you're playing both at once. It's they're just so rewarding. And
Ooh.
they always have like a new one coming out, even though I'm pretty sure this one's just called Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S maybe. But yeah, these games are a lot of fun, and the fact that it's coming on a Switch day one is definitely something to look forward to.
Mhm.
All right, and then just to kind of speed run through the rest of this, because there's a lot that I think we've either already played or probably would have been playing before. We have Hogwarts Legacy, which kind of in the same situation with Cyberpunk. Um,
Mhm.
it's a big, beautiful game. We'll see how it actually runs and performs, but always, always cool to see a nice big game get a shot at the Switch 2, or the Switch 2 at a big game, I guess I should say, because we'll see how that turns out. The same thing can be said about Fortnite. Fortnite's coming day one, of course. Uh, Nabunaga's Ambition Awakening. Not too familiar with that one. You know anything
Me
about that?
neither. I've never heard no, I haven't heard of this game.
Rune Factory, Arcade Archives 2, Ridge Racer. That's pretty cool. Fast Fusion, Kanutsugami, Path of the Goddess, Sid Meier's Civilization 2. So this one's actually really interesting, because when it came out, did it come out this year or was it last year? Like or late last year? I think it was earlier this year, right?
I think so.
Anyways, when it came out, it definitely had a lot of problems. I did not jump into it, but mainly because everyone was saying it had a lot of problems. But I think it's had enough time to maybe where they could have corrected all that and to have that on a portable system that has mouse support. That's pretty cool. It's pretty
Mhm.
cool for a game like that. Uh, Suikoden, 1 and 2
Mhm.
HD remaster. Don't know much about that. Survival Kids. That was the game that was shown off right before the Into the Gungeon 2. but then it
Oh, a
paused
little
to the Enter Gungeon.
bit.
So I will not be playing that game. No, it looks fun.
Mhm.
And then Yakuza 0.
The director's cut, though.
Yeah. You gonna be
We are
playing that?
getting Oh, definitely. We are getting brand new cutscenes, never before seen stuff. It should be a lot of fun,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, it should be fun to play this game on the go, especially since it's one of the Yakuza games that's recommended for people to just kind of like jump into because it's got like a lot of recent stuff that actually makes it not hard to play through, like the first three.
Yeah. That's cool.
Should
Is
be
it
fun.
exclusive? Is that new stuff exclusive?
I I know it's coming out day one of the Switch, but I thought it was also coming out on other consoles, but I really could be wrong about that. I have to look it up. Um, but yeah, I'm probably just gonna get on the Switch though because I really want to play it everywhere. See, it says launch title for Switch too.
Is I yeah, that but is that game necessarily going to be, or is that new content going to be everywhere else, or is that like kind of, I'd imagine it's going to be on everything else.
Uh, I would imagine too, but I'm not seeing it. I just found an article from Nintendo Life saying it is exclusive to the Switch 2, the Director's Cut edition.
Wow. So
That's
another good get by Nintendo.
yeah.
They really got their connections over there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's about everything that is coming on the Switch 2. Um, should be a very fun and eventful week. We'll definitely be able to hopefully give a pretty definitive review for Mario Kart. At least I will. I
Mm-hmm.
will definitely, what if not next week, then the week after that. And I guess that's what I mainly want to just clarify real quick. So next week we're looking at the Switch to first impressions. But that day it will literally be the day of the Switch. So we're going to try to get as much gameplay as
Mm-hmm.
we can in that day. We definitely won't be able to definitively, I think, review Mario Kart. Maybe Delta Rune. We'll see about that.
Yeah, maybe the
Um,
welcome tour.
I think for sure the welcome tour. I think we can get that out of the way. I think we can. Yeah, look forward next week to the official welcome tour review. Um, but yeah, that's next week. So we will only have like
Mhm.
less than 24 hours with the system. So there's not going to be
Right.
too much we're going to be able to talk about. But I imagine most of that conversation is going to be taken up by, of course, the hardware and Mario Kart.
Yeah, and
So,
welcome tour.
and well, we could breeze through that, much like we will with the game. Anyways, the week following that, I would love to be able to get more in depth about how we are spending our time with the Switch. However, SGF will be happening the day after next week's podcast. Then that means that following week after the Switch's release, will
Mhm.
SGF will have finished, and there is going to be a lot to talk about in games. And I would love to be able to talk about the future of the Switch too, but we'll see how SGF shakes out
Right.
and what we're going to be talking about. But if there's a lot that happens at SGF, then we'll probably push the Switch's launch year, our predictions and whatnot, to the week after that. If
Mhm.
not, not a big deal. We could probably squeeze it all in. But either way, a lot to look forward to in the next coming weeks. There's going to be a lots of gameplay, or not gameplay, but reviews. Lots to talk about with just the Switch and gaming in general. Um, and I guess since we're not going to get a lot of time to talk about SGF leading into it, I guess this is just a good point to try to get out of the way and just ask what we expect from SGF, and do we believe Nintendo's even going to show up? Is Nintendo going to do another direct? You don't think so?
No, I don't think so. I think they're already getting enough with the Switch 2 launch. Actually, my guess is the next direct might be maybe like late June. but I doubt they'll do one right away.
If they're gonna do one June at all, why not get it
Mhm.
around all the hype?
Yeah, that's true. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know what they could
Plus,
show off, but
you would get in front of um, Donkey Kong, show off Donkey Kong right before the game. Because that, or is it? Wait, is that July or June?
July is Donkey Kong
Oh, okay, so you got a little bit,
and the wheelchair game.
and the wheelchair game. So
Mhm.
we'll see. I imagine. Do you think what's the over under for third party developers showing off their game and being and saying this is coming to the Switch 2 as well? What do you think is the over under for SGF?
What do you mean over under?
How many games, what do you think is a good sweet spot for how many games could or could not be
Oh,
announced for the Switch 2 at SGF?
honestly, with how powerful the Switch is, I feel like we're going to see a lot also drop for the Switch too. I think we're going to see like a whole bunch, especially like when it comes to like indie games.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to be seeing a lot about the Switch 2, but I'm wondering if it's going to be from Nintendo, which I doubt it.
Mm, yeah, no.
But do we know if Ubisoft is showing up? Are they doing their conference again?
I'm not actually.
I
I don't
don't think
think they
so.
are.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't say anything about yeah.
Yeah. Well, if Ubisoft does make an appearance, then I think we're definitely going to get a new Mario Rabbids.
I don't know. According to somebody I know, apparently it's a fun game.
Oh yeah, I played a little bit of it, but I mean, just those games are not my type.
Right.
All right, well, we'll just see what happens at SGF. There's going to be a lot to talk about
Mhm.
now that I think about it. It says that PlayStation is part of this, but in what capacity? Who knows? We know
Right.
Xbox has a conference, so that should be interesting, especially with the year that
Where
they've been having, which has been one hell of a year.
right where they might announce also one of the remakes of the best games, best game ever.
Xbox?
Mhm.
What's that?
Persona 4 Gold.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If they were to announce it, it would probably be at
Mhm.
the Xbox studio, since they do have a nice
Exactly.
little relationship. The thing I'm most interested in I'm looking seeing it right here, is that IOI is going to make an appearance at SGF, and IOI are the same people that made the Hitman games, and they are also, of course, working on the James Bond game,
Oh
which
yeah, they are.
hadn't we hadn't seen anything of until the Switch 2 reveal, and it
Mhm.
was just the classic James Bond barrel staring down the barrel, and that was it.
Mhm.
That was the first time we ever saw it since like the announcement of a James Bond game. So I think it might be time for IOI to show off anything, if not just a cinematic trailer of James Bond. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm looking forward to. Anyways,
Mhm. And
go ahead.
oh yeah, I was gonna. You said PlayStation's also gonna be there.
Yeah, it says it on the website, but I think that's just like it's gonna be like, oh, this is a game that we're making for PlayStation. I don't think anyone from PlayStation is gonna be like make an appearance.
Oh okay. I'm holding on to the 1% hope of Bloodborne, but
Yeah, I would just try to bury that deep down. Don't expect a lot.
Mhm.
All right, you want to go on to the wish list?
Mhm.
All
Yep.
right. So I have a game. Let me pull it up because I do not. I have a game that is similar to last week's. It is yet again another 3D platformer, and this
Mm.
one is called Paper Clay, and it's just a really cute, 3D platformer
Oh
that
yeah.
looks like it's made out of like cardboard and Play-Doh. It just
Mhm.
looks like a really fun 3D platformer. The Steam's page reads like this, if I can get to it, because it has a long interactive. page. A classic 3D platformer with a tactile twist. Open, unfold, and rotate your way through a stunning world built with familiar crafting materials, featuring the talents of composer Kith Hope and Malin, banjo and kazooie, and ukulele. I Yes. So, anyways, yeah, this is just a fun 3D platformer. It's on sale right now, so it's less than $15. It's $13.49, and it just looks like a really cute, cozy platformer. Which, what more can I ask for?
I was gonna say this looks fun.
You want to talk about your game?
Oh yeah, so okay, I have no idea how to pronounce this, but it's called Carry On. This is a reverse horror game. So you actually play
I've seen this. Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
creature. Yeah, you've seen this, right? Yeah.
yeah,
This is an older game. I think it came out like 5 years ago, maybe. But nonetheless, I think it's a really cool concept, and it looks like so much fun. It's not a lot
yeah,
where you actually get to play as the the enemy.
yeah. This one looked really cool. I don't know which show I saw this at, but yeah, it was
Mhm.
definitely one that when it first showed off, it was like, oh, this looks really, really cool. I don't know why I
Mhm, and
never picked this one up.
same here, because I remember seeing this a long time ago and thinking it was so cool. I mean, the art style is really cool. The fact not only that you play as the monster, but yeah, it just looks like a lot of fun, and it's overwhelmingly positive. Yeah, it just looks like a blast.
Yeah, really
I
cool.
yeah, I would say
Awesome.
that's about it for that wishlist game. The description was like less than 5 sentences.
Yeah, they'd be like that sometimes.
Mhm,
Well, there you guys have it. Another episode of Press Reset. So we have a lot to look forward to in the next coming weeks. The Switch 2. I mean, gosh, we're a week away.
mhm. We're
This
so
time next
close.
week, we will have the Switch in our hands. I'm so excited.
As we speak, we will be playing the welcome tour.
Yes. Well, we'll probably be right here, but we will have played the Welcome Tour.
Mhm,
What a time to be alive. Only a week away. So look
mhm,
forward to that. A lot to look forward to in the upcoming weeks. We got, like I said, the Switch 2 next week, and then that same week is going to be SGF. It's going to be the day after. So there's going to be a lot to
mhm,
talk about following that week. And then we are going to have a lot to just talk about the Switch from weeks and months from now, especially as more games come out, like Donkey Kong,
mhm,
which is only a month later, and Kirby Air Riders, which is still scheduled for 2025. So we will see where that lands. Maybe we'll find out during SGF. Maybe it'll make an
mhm.
appearance. Maybe a surprise direct happens the Monday. Hey, stop scratching. Thank you. I don't know if you can see her. Well, anyways,
No, yeah.
this has been Press Reset, the Poogles Games podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Poogles Games. I'll always be on Poogles Games. You can hit me a message if you guys want to do a collab. You want to join the podcast? Go ahead, just leave us a message. I will always be looking out for that. Casey, is there anything you want to say?
Mhm. Yeah, just remember that Mario Odyssey is the best Mario, Sonic is better than Mario. Get ready for Deltarune, and thanks for having me on here.
There you have it. It's not true, but there you have it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.